How you doing, everybody? Randy Richards in the shop. I need to build a door latch for the greenhouse. This is going to be the outside plate. You can see I designed it all up in CAD. Actually, this will be the inside plate, and the door will be, of course, between these two. Just a simple latch, push down with your thumb type of deal. There'll be a handle on here. There we go. Outside, then the inside plate. There'll be a catch on the inside. There's a side view. There'll be a handle. Push down with your thumb. Flip open the latch. Pretty simple. These two pieces here, the plasma cut out on the plasma table. And then we have a bunch of scrap. We got some 1.5 by 2 piece of angle iron for part of the inside. This is a rod. They use these twisted type nails, like 8 inches long by about a half. These are used in railroad ties. They'll put 2 in usually at each end. A lot of the railroad ties, and it kind of helps them last longer and hold together. So we're going to bend that into a nice curved handle. We have I don't know what this is from, but it's a piece of 1/4 by 1 by 2 flat bar that will scavenge for 2 of the pieces, and a couple pieces of 5/16 stainless rod I'll make for the pivot pin. Do a little blacksmithing. We'll take a chunk of this and a chunk of this for the inside, and for the thumb latch we'll need to heat this up and get this bent for the handle. And we have some band sign and such on this, and drill a couple holes and things like that, and a little bit of machine work making that pin. This is 5/16 OD, 2 1/4 inches long, 304 stainless. I'm going to turn this down to a 1/4 inch OD for 1 inch. Then we're going to cut some threads right there for 1/4 inch, 5/16 18 threads. And then we'll just kind of clean up the other end. We'll put a screw slot in that far end. And that's be about it. Pretty simple. This threading tool is ground off center on the tool bit, so that it gives you more clearance when you're trying to thread something up close to the chuck here. The tool holder will be off here at an angle, about like so, and I can come in here and not have to worry too much about the clearance on the chuck. Very handy tool to have in your arsenal of tools. Have one ground that way, and one in the other direction even. That way you're not straight in. Say, if you were straight in, you'd have very little clearance right now. If you have a fishtail gauge like this one, now this one has the double depth of thread listed on here, which is really nice for when you're roughly threading to something close at least, and 18 threads per inch is 72 thousandths, so you're going to go in half of that, so 36 thousandths. There we go. A lot of times the thread, when you're cutting a single point of thread, builds up a burr on the very tip of the thread. That's why if you hit it with a light with it, this is a real fine file. So just hit it a little bit, get that burr off, you know, clean it. Wire brush is always good. And before you're making a decision on whether you're going to take another cut or not. Anyway, this is a real nice fit. There's a little dirt in there, but nice fit, goes on all the way. So here's the portable blacksmith shop set up. Forged over here, anvil, tools are on the rack on the anvil stand, and the new post vise striking anvil setup. That one there, all I did is flatten it out so I can figure out where I'm going to cut it and fuller it and shape it up. And the other piece will just be a flat bar for the latching knife arm. But all these are ready to go now. So somewhere, probably right about like this, that will go. I'm going to wire wheel them and clean them up, but they're good to go. That all went really well. The door catch side, I took that piece of angle and just bandsawed it. Bandsawed a length, bandsawed this there to width, roughed out a notch. I put it in the mill and just cleaned that notch so it's nice and clean. And quickly laid out with a scribe screw holes. We'll center punch and drill the screw holes. Pretty simple, pretty simple. For this part of the handle, right here, I was going to just, this is a railroad spike, I would call them nails. They drive these in at the end, two of them, near where the spikes are going to be, and it helps hold the railroad tie together, I assume. That's what it seems like. So when you get rid of a railroad tie, and here we usually burn the scraps, we dig these out. I dig them out of the ash pile. I figured one day they'd be good for something. So I have several of these. They're all twisted. They're just mild steel. I don't think they're anything special. But they're all twisted and they look kind of cool. They've been in there a long time. They're rusted and pitted. Gives you that good old blacksmith look, right? And I don't have to twist it. So it has a 4-lead twist on it. So they started with square stock, probably when they did this. Anyway, this thing's 8. So this is 8.5 inches long, and I already made one, but I'm thinking different on this now. I think I'm going to make it. I'm going to make a tenon, I think, on there. Put a tenon on it, drill a couple holes, and actually, rivet that type of thing on there with the tenons. I think it might look a little bit better. It'd be a little more clean instead of welding them. I could have drilled a hole through it, welded, and all that, but I think it might look a little better if I tenon this. And there's enough room there to do that. I don't have a guillotine tool. I don't have any tenoning anything to help tenon this. So I might make a quick monkey tool. I'll make a quick monkey tool, and so I can get it down to like a 1/4 inch tenon. 5-inch piece of 1-inch sucker rod. Most likely a 4140 or 4130 material. So it's hardenable. And yeah, I'm not going to heat treat it right today, but I can heat treat this later on. That looks pretty good. Now I'll drill a cross hole, and so that's 1 inch. When you see the end of it, that way you'll know you got a 1-inch tenon. This is the opposite end. I cleaned it up, put a chamfer on, be hammering on that. There, now we'll machine that with a cross hole. All right, there we go, all done. Chamfered the holes here on the side, cleaned out this one. I put a 5/16 hole in here, and I stamped it so I know the size. You probably can't tell. There we go, 1/4. And we're all kind of cleaned up here for beating on it. This really only took me maybe 30 minutes to make, if that. It came out pretty nice. See how it works, and maybe I'll have to make 2 or 3 more with, different sizes. I'm just working on the ends here so I can have a nice clean shoulder when I mount it on the plate. So I'm going to do the file work to clean this all up and get a nice shoulder. These are obviously going to get cut off and form the rivet. So for the tenon joint here. There we go, filed up. That's not, although if I pounded it in, it would go tight. And just using the monkey tool as the gauge. So we'll do the same over there. All right, quick status here. This plate is done. Oops, upside down, but this one's done. Came out nice. I made it the same motif as the hinges. That's the whole idea, to kind of match the hinges. That's the outside one. This is the inside one, inside plate, right there. Over here, this is the latching bar that will come down, and this is the catch that will be mounted inside. So the bar is mounted on here and will come down and latch in there. That's the whole idea. That's done. So here's the handle, and that goes on there. This is the thumb release. This will be through there. Then you'll drill a hole in the edge of the door for this pivot pin that you'll be able to reach in there and screw this in. So this will then pivot like so. You have the handle there. Let's see, there's a little burr on that, but you'll be able to hold the handle and thumb latch, right? So that on this side of the door, we'll pick this up. This will be resting on there, and you'll be able to pick this up out of the latch. All right, welded it on. Got her nice and tight against the shoulders. It came out pretty good. It's all wet still, and tight. I had to reflatten it, of course, but looks pretty good. This is the back plate, and I need to have this on there as the pivot. I drilled that hole too big for what I had originally planned. So I took the piece I cut off of the tenon for the handle, which was real long, and I welded it in the back. Now I'll grind that down smooth, and then this is going to go on, and I'm going to just form a rivet head there, so this is still free swinging. So things will work out. And that's about it. So it's all ready to paint. We're just gonna paint it. We'll prime and paint flat black, and this will match the hinges, and we're ready to go. I did have to make a few tools while doing all this. I made a small tool for a 1/4 inch tenoning spring tool. That worked out pretty good to help get it to size. And then I had to do still had to do a little hand hammering anyway. I need to modify this still a little more flare on the edges because it put marks in the tenon. So, but still, it came out okay. I just machined all that and welded a little piece of flat bar as a spring handle. And I made a 1/4 inch monkey tool for it. So that worked out. Very helpful in the sizing of it, even though I did not use it as a monkey tool in a sense to make the shoulders. I did on the first attempt, but they became, I don't know, brittle or what. I'm not sure why exactly, but one broke off and on the first attempt and stuff. So I just went with a little bit of a taper there for it, and then I hand filed the shoulders in. But I still made a monkey tool for it, and I should make a few more different sizes. So that's made from a piece of sucker rod, so it's probably 4130, and the way it machined, I would say that's what it is. And I might even, if I make a few more, I'll throw them all in a heat treat oven and heat treat them all. And then I made a little butcher tool for the hardy hole, just machined off this is just a piece of mild steel, but for hot metal it works fine, and welded it on a piece of 1-inch tube that fits the hardy hole, and just slipped it in and was able to use it as a butchering tool to do I used it for this to separate the mass, to separate the mass and then be able to twist that. So that worked out very handy. I need to make a guillotine tool is what I need to make. All right, let's get them painted and then we'll be ready to install. Greenhouse door. This is going to go right there, I decided. And the other plate's on the other side. So I have a mortise to cut through first. Then we have a hole to drill on the end, and then we can mount it. Estimated where that pivot pin needs to go. It's going to be right here. Now, it's going to start that like that. This is the major diameter of the pin. This part's 5/16, and that part's a little under a 1/4. So we'll drill that second. But this part only needs to go so far. So we'll use the stop so I don't drill. It's real easy to drill too far. This one right behind it. So this pin is going to go in there, engage with the lever arm after it's put through here. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a trick probably getting this. See, we're dealing with wood, right? And so the surface is a little uneven. We need to clamp this down. I might need to even bend these a little bit here to get this. We'll get it so it's in a nice free operating. These hex head little lag screws, Blacksmith hardware supply or something like that online. Pretty nice. Doing these kind of screws, this will work really slick. I mean, you don't use flathead or single slotted screws very often, but there we go. That works. Absolutely awesome. Latches, just close it and latches. Then you got your hook here for your finger on the inside. You just pick it up. I love it. Just love it. And these bolts act as a stop. So that was kind of the plan. Hopefully that those would work out like that. There we go. We just close the door. Perfect. Now the motif was the idea is to match the hinges over here. And I think I did a pretty good job of matching them. Of course, you know, like I said, these are all plasma cut out, so you draw them on the computer, you can make them match. The greenhouse door latch is done. Later on this summer, I'll put power on the inside. I already have it on the outside, and I have water on the outside, and we'll get water on the inside. I could sit here and do this all day. It works so good. Awesome. Just love it. And thank you everyone for watching. Please subscribe and we'll get more content like this. Well, maybe better even content. This is pretty good. Thanks again for watching.